All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're at the top of the hour. I know a lot of people will be coming still. We're going to do a prayer. This is something that we do for our all-parent meetings on the campus. And so I thought, let's do that together as well. Let's open our meeting with a prayer. And then we'll recite the mission statement together. And this will be a little different because we're online and I'll feel all alone because I won't be able to hear you. And we shouldn't all unmute either. That could be that wouldn't be quite right. And then I've got a fun poll. I want to know where you're coming from. We're really excited for this hour, and we're really excited to be together with you. I have a lot of members of our team here. And I would just say, while we're meeting together, please have your chat open. There are going to be a lot of questions asked there. And so a lot of information will be coming through the chat during this hour. And we'll be posting links to other meetings and to other resources, links to places on our website that are helpful that we're talking about, that our team is talking about while we're sharing today. And so have your chat open so that you can have reference to those or access to those resources. The last thing before we have our opening prayer, and I'm looking around realizing I haven't asked someone to say the opening prayer, so I'm going to ask Heather Merrill because I see her. If that's okay, Heather. The last thing is we are recording this. And so we'll send it out to you after, and you can review any part of it. And for those who aren't able to join us, they'll have access to the information as well. Okay, Heather, would you mind offering an opening prayer, and then we'll do a mission statement?
Sure.
Thank you.
Our dear Father in heaven, we are so grateful unto thee for the opportunity to gather here this morning. We're grateful for our children and for the opportunity that we have to raise them up unto thee, to help them to learn of thee, feel thy spirit, and learn of the path of covenants that will help them return unto thee, and us together as families for eternity. We are thankful for the American Heritage School and the LiftEd program that provides these tools and resources that will allow us to help our children receive education, knowledge, and skills from a safe environment. We're grateful for those who put so much work into all of this. We pray that we will be able to have thy spirit with us throughout this meeting today, that we will be able to counsel with one another in getting questions answered and be prepared for the beginning of the school session next week. We are so grateful unto thee for thy Son, Jesus Christ. We're grateful for his perfect example, his great love for us, and his sacrifice, and pray that we will be able to follow him and always remember him so that we can have his spirit to be with us throughout all of our pursuits in this world. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Heather. Okay, Tim's going to share his screen, and we're gonna recite the mission statement together. At the top, American Heritage School assists parents worldwide in developing the hearts, minds, and bodies of students to realize their divine potential by 1, being useful in the hands of the Lord and building the kingdom of God on earth. 2, increasing faith in and a knowledge of the plan of salvation. 3, developing a love, understanding, and appreciation for America and the founding fathers. 4, developing the academic knowledge and skills necessary to be able to make self-education a lifelong pursuit. 5, learning to reason and discern between right and wrong, truth and error. 6, developing character and self-government of mind and body. And 7, conducting themselves in all aspects of life as Christians. I suspect, as with me and with all the members of our team, that mission statement is what brought you here, at least part of it. And so it's important that we remember why we're in the first place and what you're looking for. And for some families who might not be looking for this might not be the right thing for them. And we do the very best we can to do it well. As a nonprofit, we operate very, very lean. This team is very small relative to the team well, even the team that is on the AF campus with 200 plus employees supporting about 1,000 plus, just over 1,000 students. We also support just over 1,000 students, but our team that supports that group is, well, it's much smaller. And so as a nonprofit, we just have to say thank you to you for everything that you're doing to be a part of this, because we know that there are many bumps for you as there are for us in a new program like this. Okay, I want to just launch a poll real quick. And I want to find out a little bit more about you and where you're coming from. This is always very interesting to us to understand how families are hearing, where they're coming from. And you get one answer. So read through them, because you might think, oh, that's me, but then you read another one and you're like, oh, that's more like me. So read through all of them and then answer the one that is you. Can you guys see the results as they come in, or is that just me? Tim?
We can't see them.
You can't see them. Oh, this is cool. I can't wait to show you. At the end of this meeting, while you're answering this, we're going to break out into 3 different groups for FAQ. Oh, sorry, for Q&A. Well, which are FAQ too. And so just know that at the end of this, if you're pre-enrollment, you haven't enrolled yet, or you're thinking about enrolling. In fact, I'm noticing I haven't put an answer for unenrolled and just investigating, which some of you may be that. You can just put new LiftEd family, optimistically speaking, right? And so at the end, if you're pre-enrollment, then there'll be a group for a breakout room for you. If you're post-enrollment and you just want to know how to get started and tips for being successful and being ready for the first day, then that'll be another group, and then there'll be another group for Scholar Connect 912. All right, I'm going to end the poll, and not everyone has answered, but at least you can see the slice here, and I'll share the results. It's a good group. Former family school returning LiftEd families are 36 of 99, 36%, about a third of you. A little less than a third, about a quarter of you are returning LiftEd families, and about a quarter are new LiftEd families. So this is fantastic. Okay, very, very good. I'm gonna stop sharing that and give you an overview of this hour and who's going to be sharing with you. After I share some remarks, a little bit of an overview of last year, I'll also walk through and demo some key features, some key improvements that will be new to you, parents and your students. And then I'll turn the time over. I want you to meet Jose. He is leading our support team, and Jose lives in Guatemala. And I'll have a little story to share there about Jose and his family, but he's amazing. And I want you to meet him and his team. And then Tim, the assistant director and director of curriculum and learning, he'll be sharing, well, a lot about the resources and the tools that your children and you will have available to you this year. Nellie's going to give us a brief update on the Family Education Center and how that's going. And then Kristen's going to give us another brief update. And I say another because many of you were with us on Tuesday and heard the announcement about the referral incentive that you can give your families for a free month. First month of school. And then if Grant has joined us, Grant's the head of school, Grant Beckwith. If he's joined us by then, he's teaching right now his first day at the AF campus. He teaches the Principles of Leadership class, which is awesome, and which will be available to all of you online as well. And he'll be with us, and we'll share some closing remarks, and then we'll break out into breakout rooms for some more Q&A. So that's how we're going to go. Now I'm going to start at the top with what I ended with there with Kristen and the new incentive, the 30-day free trial, because I just want to hit the elephant in the room right at the beginning. We announced a 30-day free trial. It's not something we could offer before. It's something that we just finished and we're able to offer, and we're excited about it. But to some of you, it was a little bit salt in the wound because you'd been paying, you enrolled early, and you know, for whatever reason, to get your preferred time or to get familiar with the platform. We don't control when families enroll and when they unenroll. In fact, you do. And I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. But when we launched a 30-day free trial, we had enough response from our new families, not from our former families, because our former families are paying. They want to keep their they're 75% off in most cases. And so that's their incentive. We just heard it from the new families, and we feel badly that we're starting off on a bad note. We can't always reconcile all of those things. You simply can't. But in some cases you can. And we feel like at minimum, we can offer our new families a free month as well. So all new families, you'll see a credit on your account for every student for the first month of school. You'll receive the same incentive that everybody else does. And we hope that you'll share that freely with everyone. It's hard to wrap your mind around LiftEd. We've noticed that in the webinars that we're doing, as we talk with new families, it takes about 20-30 minutes for them to even understand what is LiftEd. That's a challenge for us because it's so different. It's so revolutionary in terms of how it compares to how most children learn online or how most children learn in a homeschool environment, that it takes some time. And so this free trial actually gives them the very best thing for them, is the opportunity to just do it. No risk. Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick, and I want to show you, I'm going to go back a little bit to the vision of this program of LiftEd and why it started. One second. You can see this, but I want to get this bar. I hate how some of the tools available to you are not available when the Zoom bar is in the way. Okay. LiftEd was created for this purpose. And I'm going to move through these really quick. And you can come back and you can watch it if you want to look at these slides closer. But LiftEd is the first viable alternative to public school for millions of families in the US and other countries, including developing nations. That's why it was built. And many of you would say, oh, not really for me, but we're not actually talking about you when we say this. We're talking about all the families and these new families, these quarter of the families that are here with us today, who've never tried homeschooling because, well, it's just too difficult. It's just too much of a mountain for a mom, or they've never tried online schooling because they feel like it's disconnected for their kids and there's not a lot of accountability and it's lonely, or they haven't tried private school because it's just not affordable. And so LiftEd really is trying to solve those three problems. It's not just excellent and engaging academics, it builds moral character and strengthens faith, all faiths, maybe not right now, but this is the vision, that it builds families of all faith and gathers families, a solution that the world needs now more than ever. If you want to look at this slide later, but it just kind of defines quickly what the problem is, how big it is, what the solution is, and is it really viable? Can we really do this? These are the reasons why families are coming, and they're coming in greater numbers year after year. I know that all of you resonate with more than one of these reasons for considering an alternative to public school. Why are they leaving public school? And these are the reasons. We've done this research ourselves, and also this is if you've looked at NCES, they have a lot of good research there as well. Public school alternatives are unsustainable and inaccessible. The fail rate for a new homeschooler is 74%. That's horrible. It means it doesn't work. It means for most families, homeschool just isn't a viable solution. If only a quarter of them do it one more year, and half of them fail in the second year. So close to 87% fail within the first 2 years. Completion rates for online courses is around 15%. That's not any better. In fact, it's about the same. And then private school tuition is 12,000 plus, and that's just cost prohibitive. So again, LiftEd is trying to solve these problems. Why do parents who consider an alternative stay? Why don't they? Why don't they do it? It's for these reasons. My student would be too lonely. I don't feel capable. It's not affordable. My student wouldn't respond well to me. I lack the patience needed. I lack the time needed. I don't know how to begin. These are the top reasons. And again, LiftEd is trying to solve those reasons. And I see a lot of you looking and nodding your head and smiling because you know this is true. How big is it? Well, this is independent research that we had conducted, that we paid for. And it's as small as 5 million students, not very small, right? That are very seriously considering an alternative to public school and who would also be very interested in our solution. Now, we haven't built that solution yet. It's barely there. I mean, the vision for LiftEd is much bigger, much grander, much more supportive than it currently is. And so if you like what you see right now, well, we're nowhere close to where we'll end up. This is the solution. And again, many of you have experienced that already this last pilot year. This is how we did last year. We had 1,212 students who paid for LiftEd. At the end of the year, there were 877. It doesn't sound great when you end there, but if you look at it compared to the industry, it's actually exceptional, especially given the fact that it was our first year. And you remember, for those who are returning, you remember how bad it really was day 1 and day 2, and even day 30. It was still not great. I wouldn't even say it's great right now. It's okay. We've made a lot of progress, and we're going to make a lot of progress. And we're grateful that you're willing to be patient as we make it. And that's why you're receiving a discount. That's why every family here receives a discount, is because we get that. And if you don't have a discount, you can get one too. So connect with a member. If you're new and you don't have a discount and you've enrolled, get a referral code from one of our families. And we're going to show you how you do that here in just a second. The industry average is 74% who don't make it more than a year. We ended with 27.6%. That's almost 300% better than the industry average in a brand new product. Engagement. In-person gathering. 33% of our families gathered in person with someone they met on the platform last year. To us, that's really, really important, because our solution isn't platform, isn't software, and it isn't content. As important as those two things are, our solution really is when you gather with another family and you connect in person and you support each other locally. Like, that's our end goal in all of this, and all the software that we're building and all the content that we're producing is to enable you to gather in person and support each other in more of like a micro school environment. There will be many, many tools that come to support that initiative in the future. Videos submitted. Your children, they're on responding to questions the teacher was asking. 250,000 videos submitted. That's crazy, isn't it? Course completion, 55%. Again, doesn't sound great, but compared to the industry, it's great. And considering the fact that we didn't require anything of any student, we didn't say you had to complete this lesson to move on to the next one. There was no grades, there was no requirement, and they still completed it 367% better than the industry average. So it's engaging them. This is perhaps the most important statistic from last year. It is a group of students, 115 in fact, who were brand new. We told you already that the average attrition was 27.6%. Well, for this small group who had never homeschooled, who was coming straight from public school last year, there was 115 students of those 1,212. And we lost 3 of them. That's 2.6% attrition. The real comparison is just those 115 to the industry average. It's 30, it performed 30 times, almost 30 times better compared to new homeschoolers. 74%, 2.6% compared to 74%. This is our strategy. We're focused on gathering. You haven't heard a lot about this. Nellie's going to share a little bit. If you can form an FEC, a family education center in your area, if you can join one, do it. That's the most important step for us, we think, to help you be successful and successful long-term. There's 2 paths. There's a more staff-supported, school-supported path, and there's a more parent-led, home-centered approach. Okay, you've all saw this video. We're not gonna, well, maybe you haven't all seen it, but we don't have time to share it right there. Okay, now I want to just walk through quickly a few new improvements for this year. We've got foundations lessons from parents that are now available. You are going to start getting access to content, parents. You said this last year, I want to see the content before my kids see it. Some of that is because you just want to vet the content, which is wonderful. For many other parents, it's I actually want to. I'm interested in what my kids are interested in. We learned that from family school. So now you can click on My Courses on the left nav. You can click on Foundations, and pretty soon you'll be able to click on each of the courses that your students will be taking this year along that top bar. Just like they see it, you're going to see it, and you're all going to see it at level 3. That's the highest level that we produce. So middle school, you're going to see the middle school level for the content. today, right now, you can click on Foundations 1. I think tomorrow you can click on Foundations 2 or 3, but you just click on the lesson like the students do. You can read the academic concept, the gospel principle that's going to be talked about. You can see a little overview, any resources that are available to you, anything that might need to be printed off. Then you just click on the little yellow or the purple circle there, and you open up your lesson path. Now, if you can do these as a family before Monday, fantastic. I think I would. If I had multiple children doing this, I would do this lesson on Sunday. And then they can do it again with their cohort of students on Monday when they see it on their platform. Next thing, gym texts. Last year, where Tim was, in fact, he can probably show you, on your dashboard, you would see the ability to respond to a prompt. This year, we're actually texting you a unique link. And if you click on that link, this is the experience that you're going to have. You click on the link from your text. You see you see the potential prompts or the children or the lessons for which you can leave a prompt, and you can select the child. Let's say it's Ellie. We move to the next screen and you see the prompt that is going to direct you to know what we're looking for. What kind of story, what kind of experience, what kind of testimony are we looking for this one? You record your video, do it horizontally, and you could even see a lesson summary if you want to read a little bit more about the lesson, just to get a little bit more understanding about that prompt, so that you can leave a message that's really related to the lesson that she or he is going to be learning about. And then when you click on record, it asks you, well, do you want to record this for Nora and Jaden, or just Nora, and you want to do another one for Jaden? Sometimes you'll just want to record one, and you'll want to assign it to all your children's lesson paths. You make that selection there, you click record, you record wherever you're at. This mom, she's just getting ready to go into Walmart, and she got the prompt and she's recording right there in the parking lot. And you can do that, whether you're waiting for your son at soccer practice or picking somebody up, driving to, even when you're driving. Well, maybe I shouldn't recommend that. Okay, lastly, you record it, then you submit it. You can redo it, you can watch it and redo it if you don't like it. And then at the end, if you want to record another gym, it'll take you right back to the beginning. And so everything's right there in your mobile phone. It takes literally 2 minutes to record a video, maybe 5 minutes if you want to record a couple. But that's nothing compared to what you homeschool moms have been doing to prepare and to teach and to deliver, facilitate homeschooling. So take a few minutes every day, or don't. Maybe just forward it on to dad. Say, hey, this is one for you today, dad. Or forward it on to grandma and grandpa. Let them do one, or a neighbor. It doesn't always have to be you. It can always be you, but it could be you and a lot of other people. So when they get to that place, that golden envelope message on their path, they open it up and they see messages from people who love them. Now you can really do that simply instead of having to log into a platform. And that will also be available on Monday. Member map. Are we demoing this? Or are we just showing Figma slides? Kristen, very, very good. Okay, so from your dashboard, again, parents, you can go down on the left nav, you'll see Find Families Nearby. Click on Find Families Nearby. Now she's not looking at this in a, if you try to do this right now, you won't see this. You won't see this until Monday, in fact. But now you can zoom in to any area, wherever you live, and you can see it gets close enough to be able to see families around you, but not so close that we can identify, where you live. And you can control in your parent settings what is viewable here. But in the most simple form, if I am lens reach, no, that's the place. Sorry, click on, can we click on one of those dots? Yeah. So I click on that and I can see that there's a family. It's the Craig family. They live in Aurora, and I can message them and I can say, hey, I'd love to know more about your family. How old are your children? This is the age of my children. Do you want to connect? I'd love to get together or know more about your family. And you can message them right there. It sends the message as an email, eventually a text, right to you, and you can decide if you want to respond. If you don't have to, but if you want to, you can. They might even ask you, hey, I live close to you. I'd love to know if you have a referral code so that I can get this discount. Of course, you'll want to respond to that one. All right, thank you. Video room before review game each day. Can we demo this? I would love to. This is going to be a really fun thing for our level 2 and level 3. Day 1, I think it's just level 3. And then we're just going to experiment with level 3. And then day 2, 3, or 4, maybe the second week, we'll open it up for level 2. We may never open this up for level 1. We may feel like, oh, it's not something that level 1 understands and values. But now when they click on the review game, instead of just taking the quiz together, now they're rushing through breakfast to get on for this. I know it. I've heard from other parents. This is one of the most exciting things about the lesson path each day. Now, when they click on the review game, they're going to see each other. And they're going to be a countdown. So they can show up as early as 10 minutes early to class, and they can just chat. Just like a student walking into a classroom at school, they're going to have that same experience virtually. And they can just talk to each other, and they see the countdown for the review game. And as soon as the review game goes live, their audio is still going to be live. So they're going to be talking to each other through the whole review game. And at the end, they can do their victory dance on the podium, and you'll see them. And so just a lot more connection in that review game. We took what is perhaps the most fun thing in the platform, and we made it a lot more fun by adding video and audio and keeping that audio on throughout that review game. Now, like I said, we're going to learn some things that we probably don't like about this, and we'll have to tweak it. But we're going to learn with our most responsible students, our most mature middle schoolers. I know that's kind of laughable, but that's who we have to work with. All right. Lastly, gathering guides, celebrations, packets, they're all yours this year before the lesson. So if you want to get together with people locally, or if you just want to do your gathering with your family, you can do it. And Nellie's going to talk a little bit more about that here in a little bit. Account management. You can manage your own account. You can enroll your own. You can unenroll. You can change times for your class. In fact, we don't do this anymore. So you have to do it. We've given you the tool to do all this and manage your own account. And so when you message support, and we're going to go move to support right now. When you message support, if you're asking for help with something that you can do, we're just going to say, here's how you do it, and turn it right back over to you and give you the control. All right, that went a little longer than it was supposed to, but hopefully you enjoyed learning a little bit more about what's coming, remembering what is the vision, remembering your part in all of this, and the fact that you're building this with us. So thank you. I'm going to turn the time over to Jose. Jose is a dear friend of ours, of all of ours. Tim and I met him on a trip to Guatemala. Some of you remember that Tim and I went down to do some work in Guatemala related to LiftEd. And we met the Arredondo family, and we met Jose and his brother Carlos and his mother Lorena. They're a wonderful, incredible family. And Tim and I came back and we thought, you know, maybe we won't do anything right now in Guatemala. It's very possible. And in fact, we haven't done much there. But the reason we went to Guatemala was not that work right then. It was Jose. And we're super grateful to have him. And you will love him too. So go ahead, Jose. I want you to introduce your team and let them get to know you a little bit.
Thank you, Peter. Well, nice to meet all of you. I am very excited to finally meet you. I have already communicated with some of you through the support tickets. And well, I just wanted to introduce myself very quick. I am Jose Arredondo, as Peter said, from Guatemala. If you want to practice your Spanish, just let me know. We can do that. I met Peter and Tim almost a year ago. They came to Guatemala. They told me to asked me to start working with them in AHS Worldwide. I started working part-time, and just a few months ago, Peter asked me if I could start working in support. Also, just a little bit more about me. I like to play soccer a lot. I talked about soccer with Peter a lot when he was here in Guatemala. I like to play the guitar, to play the piano, to sing. I am not a good singer, but I like to sing. And well, just spend time with my family and friends, and just to meet people. I have worked in support with QuickBooks Online, Google, and Xerox. But if you ask me, I like AHS Worldwide the better so far. These may be huge corporations, but the drive, the vision in AHS Worldwide is just different. It's not to make money, it's to help families. And I really like that about the team, and I'm going to introduce you to the team as well. We are all just willing to assist you and to help you to bring the better education for your children. I just want to tell you a few things about support. The best way to contact us is through SMS or the chat. Tim is helping me with sharing his screen right now. So first of all, do you see the right bubble at the lower right corner? That's where you will chat with us. When you send a message, if there's an agent available to chat, you will just start chatting. And if there's no one available, we will get your message and then we will email you back or just schedule a time to get in contact with you. It's the same thing in the AHS Worldwide page, but right now we're going to stay here in the LiftEd page. If you click in the support tab where Tim is clicking right now, you will get access to help articles. Just view the technical FAQs, and we're actually going to change this a little bit to give you more options for you to learn how to do things, especially with LiftEd, because it's just a lot of technical things that you will just learn how to do things, and we will give you access to help articles that we will send you. We'll give you the steps on how to do things. In the AHS Worldwide page, you can also just chat with us in the bubble, and there's also an FAQ page where you can find answers just to the frequently asked questions. Also, just give me 1 second here. Just need to review the notes. There's also a Facebook page. I am just copying the link to the Facebook group, and I'm putting it in the chat. If you are not in the group yet, just join the group. There are a lot of families there, and it's just a community where we can just communicate with everyone and just get help from everyone as well. And well, I just wanted to introduce you very quick to the team. First of all, we have, I'm going to say the names. If you're here in the meeting, you can just say hi very quick. So first we have Nelly. She's working with FEC support.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you, Nelly. FEC is Family Education Centers, just in case you didn't know about that. Then we have Carrie. She's helping with K to 8th grade.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Thank you, Carrie. Then we have Jenny and Elizabeth. They are helping with Scholar Connect or high school.
Hi, it's great to see everybody.
Thank you, Jenny. I think Elizabeth is not here with us right now. Then we have Molly. She's taking care of the parent-led math and language arts family school. And I don't think she's here right now. Then we have Holly. She's helping with billing, with all the payment questions. And I don't think she's here either. And lastly, we have Ben. Ben is taking care of the tickets, the technical tickets where we need to communicate with the developers.
Howdy, guys. Excited to be here.
Thank you, Ben. So this is the support team. I will also be helping with the tickets. And well, we're just very excited to work with you. And we thank you for your collaboration throughout these days and your patience as well. It's been just a few crazy weeks, but we are we're glad to help you. So that will be it from the support team.
Thank you, Jose. Don't you love Jose already? There is a spirit about him that you can just feel it. Everybody on our team has said that, and I can guarantee you felt that as well. He has a really special experience. He has a special family. His dad was an area authority and a mission president, and was a servant his whole life, and passed away a few years ago from cancer. And you can see a lot of that same humility and leadership and just goodness that's come from his father. Okay, Tim. Tim is the well, he goes by different titles. In fact, we all do at times. He wears two hats, and he wears them really, really well. And you're getting to know Tim more and more each year. He is pretty much directing all of our programs and all of the product meaning curriculum product. There's a software product and there's curriculum product, and Tim manages and directs every resource that your students and you receive on the platform. And then he helps oversee and direct the staff that's running the programs, like you just met Carrie and Jenny as well. So his plate is full. And he's going to share a few ideas right now with you.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you. I'm going to keep this really brief. My purpose in these couple of minutes is just to help you feel confident for the first day of school. And so the first thing I would tell you, and some of you don't need this reminder, but some of you need this, and it's the first time you're hearing it. It's okay. This doesn't have to be perfect right from the bat. So if you are feeling a little behind the 8 ball, or you don't have everything squared away, or you have just been busy in the summer and haven't even thought about this till right now, it's fine. Unlike traditional school, no one is going to give you an F if you are a little behind the first 2 days or anything like that. So just take a big deep breath. It's going to be fine. This first week, if you looked at the document you were sent in an email for back to school, and I've put that in the chat. I put the link up higher too, so you can see that. It does recommend that you print off our calendars, and I really recommend that. They're linked there. They're also on lifted.world. Print those off, put them on the fridge, cross off the days, let your kids cross off the days. And if you get behind a couple days, if you decide to start a week late, it's okay. In fact, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I'm not promoting this, but my wife has told me in no uncertain terms that summer is not over yet. And so we are starting a week late, and that's okay. We are going to do foundations lessons on top of next week's lessons, the week after next, actually. And we're going to do 2 a day, and then we'll be caught up. But she said, I'm not ready for summer to be done. She said, school right now is going to be working in the garden until the harvest's in. So take from that you can do this on your own time. We're here to serve you, like we said in the mission statement. Okay, if you have any trouble getting logged in early next week, or things aren't working perfect, there's plenty of time to solve it and get going. A couple tips to make every day, but especially day one, smooth. Just really mainly one tip, and that is see if you can get your camera and microphone sorted out. The thing about LiftEd is they do use their cameras and microphones. That's a lot of what's different about LiftEd from other learning platforms, is they're interacting. And so just make sure you've got a video camera or you've got a webcam separately and that it works. It's plugged in and it functions on your computer. And then just know that in your browser, you will have to click allow the camera and the microphone for the first time. You shouldn't have to do it again after that. And if you have trouble, just go into Google first and just say, need to enable microphone and the video camera, because that'll actually help you more than our support can, because we don't know your device. Every device and all its settings are different. So if you first just turn to Google, that'll be great. And then we can help you if needed. Yep, iPad will work great. I saw that in the chat. Okay, for impact, I know some of you have had questions about impact. This only pertains to level 3 students, middle schoolers. Please reference the material that was sent in that back to school document. But just remember, they do have impact starting day 1. So day 1 for a level 3 student has a foundations lesson and an impact lesson. And that's the same for every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. They'll have their regular lesson and their impact. Now, if you're worried about that or you don't have time, impact you can do later in the day. It's okay. Like I said, it goes live at whatever time you've selected, and it's great if they can do it right with other students. They like starting together and doing the game together and etc. But don't let it stress you out. Again, don't let perfection be the enemy of progress, right? Just make progress. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Please print off that calendar like I indicated earlier. And then on Thursdays, if you've registered for the virtual live gatherings and paid the additional charge there, then your student has access to the virtual live gatherings for impact. Please note, with the number of students we have, we are offering those at noon or 1 o'clock Mountain Time. You should have gotten an email. I know that's not all the times everybody would hope for, but you will be sorted into one of those, and you can change by reaching out to support if you need to flip to the other one. Okay. Last couple things. We do have parent-led math and language arts. They are in the family school. Math is all up, and language arts is the whole first part is up, and we'll stay well ahead of your student publishing material if they're doing 5 lessons a week starting on Monday. If your student is doing 20 lessons a week starting on Monday, we might not stay ahead of you. So but 5 lessons is what is normal there. So please go to a webinar in 20 minutes at 10 o'clock. If you're interested in that, we can put the link in the chat here to the webinar. But Rachel and Nellie and Carrie are all amazing project managers, and they're doing this. So we'll just show you here. If you go to the family school, and you can link there right from LiftEd now, by the way, there's a link right to the parent-led stuff in LiftEd. But if you go there, you'll see there math and language arts. And Peter's showing here, or whoever's sharing, you can see math and language arts are right there from your parent dashboard on LiftEd. You can link over here. And then math and language arts are right here. K-8 full curriculum, and just pick your level and you can start going through it. So great. Perfect. Okay, so there's that webinar right at 10 o'clock Mountain Time. So in 19 minutes that you can go and learn more information there. Finally, just a couple policies. We do video recordings. And yes, we have had to very occasionally make embarrassing phone calls to parents. It's not embarrassing for me, but it's a little embarrassing for the parent that says that something inappropriate happened on a video recording from their student. Usually it's not intentional. Sometimes it is. We have a way to take those videos down instantly. The first person, student or adult who sees that there's something that might be questionable can just click a little button in the corner and flag it, and it takes it down immediately and puts it into a queue so we can review it. And then if there's no problem, sometimes students just click the button accidentally. We just put the video right back up. And if there is a problem, then we can reach out to you and discuss it. And so please know that that's just normal and part of life. And we're on top of that. But it is helpful for you as a parent to establish expectations with your students about where they are. They should be dressed. We don't want students recording, lounging without a shirt on in bed or something like that, which actually happens regularly last year. So it's something we're trying to improve. You'll hear about that in the foundations. You might even see me demonstrating about how awkward it can be when you're not prepared for school. So the same goes for the virtual live gatherings. If you are registered for the virtual live gatherings, make sure your student has a place where they can focus. Not every house has a place like that, and we totally understand that. But to the degree possible, if they can have some headphones so they're not hearing all the chaos around them as well, and if they can be in a place where both you can see them and know that they're there, but also there's not, construction happening right behind them or something like that. That does help them focus and be able to respond and participate, which is a huge thing we want in that virtual live gathering. And there again, if something inappropriate happens, whether it's inappropriate language or they're just unmuting all the time and yelling randomly into the microphone, we just remove them from the room. We just click remove, and that solves the problem really instantly, because virtually it's hard to manage that kind of thing. No hard feelings. They're welcome back the next day, right? And so please know that, but that's just the way we have to manage that so everybody else's experience can stay consistent. And that's all I've got, everyone. We've worked really hard and you've worked really hard. We're all ready for the school year. And so, I guess I'd say lastly, because parents are watching the content now, you have access to it and you can watch it. And we'll even have the audio in podcast form starting probably the second week of school. I don't know that we'll quite have that up the first week of school. You'll be able to listen to the audio of the lessons on a podcast. Just be aware that there are certainly going to be times we teach your children something in a way that you wouldn't have taught it. It's inevitable because there's 1,000 or more of you, right? And we have to choose how we present the content. You're here hopefully because you trust American heritage, and we're grateful for that trust. But I would say if there's a big problem and you're really concerned about something, please reach out. I want to hear about it because we make mistakes sometimes and we need to rectify those. But a lot of the times when you feel that you think about it a little differently than how we presented it, I would say that is the perfect setup for a learning moment with your child. It's a perfect moment to sit down with them and talk about how there's different perspectives and share yours and let yours become the dominant one for them. That's why you're teaching them at home, right? But they're going to come into contact with other ideas that are different from yours constantly. So this is a great moment when you see those things to talk through that with them and experience it. That's all, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. That was excellent. Now you're going to have a breakout with Tim. He's leading the breakout for those who have already enrolled, so most of you, and who want other ideas and have other questions here in a little bit. So you're going to get the opportunity to spend some more time with him in a little bit. Nellie was, I came in contact with Nellie back in 2013. She was family schooling for a long time. And then she she helped us with a few projects related to family school. And then she moved to Utah. So we just had to hire her. And now she is supporting some language arts development. But she's going to talk with you today a little bit more about her work in supporting family education center development, the leadership of those family education centers, what a family education center is, and just give you a brief update.
Thank you, Peter. And thank you for that intro. Yes, I am a homeschooler at heart, and I've been homeschooling my kids for 12 or more years. And it's really just a beautiful thing. I love you families, and I've been there and I understand what you're going through. That's why I just love this position for me. So every month we get to have some family education center training meetings. Now, Peter mentioned some stats at the beginning of this meeting, and I work more in language and in metaphors and parables, and the parable that comes to mind for me is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's what we're doing with family education centers, is we are trying to help you get together so you can go the distance and you can make this happen for your families. So why would you want to join our meetings? We have about 30 to 50 families joining. I'd love to have more families come. But it's community, connection, and collaboration. That's why we are getting together every month to counsel together and to help each other know we're not alone. I would have loved this when I was just starting out and when I was in my 11th year. A connection and community that just helps support and sustain me. So in each meeting, we cover lots of training, admin training, like how to grow your FECs, how to have successful gatherings, and what a day can look like for a large group or for a small group of families. We train the mentors or the teachers, you parents, on how to lead book discussions and how to ask good questions and project-based learning. And we want to keep you parents inspired and learning yourselves. So we have a book that we're reading. It covers the span of about 2 months that we get to discuss and pull educational ideas and inspiration from. And then we share issues and we troubleshoot them together. So again, I would love to see more families there, and because collaboratively, we have a lot of wisdom between us. So if you want to register for these meetings, I'll just drop a link in the chat really quick, and you guys can click on that and just choose out the meetings that you think you can attend, and we can go from there. So I look forward to working with you guys, and I know a lot of faces here, and I'm hopefully going to get to know more. So thanks.
Thank you so much, Nellie. Okay. Lastly, is Grant back with us yet? Okay, we'll check in again after Kristen finishes. Go ahead, Kristen. Kristen used to be our director of marketing, and then the campus, sadly to say, stole her away to be the director of enrollment for all 3 campuses. There's a Salt Lake campus, there's an AF campus, both of those are physical campuses, and then there's the worldwide campus that you're a part of. And Kristen now manages the enrollment for all of those, and she does a lot of marketing for all of those programs, and she does it really, really well. I was bummed at first, but then I realized she seems to be able to have just 3 full-time jobs, and so it's great. We have to share her cost, and she's still doing the same amount of work, it feels like.
Well, thank you. So good to see all of you. I don't know if everyone's watching the chat, but maybe take a look there. I just feel like this is a LiftEd pep rally right now. So many good things going on. And Jose, if you haven't seen all of the good things being said about you in the chat, I think we might have a Jose fan club here pretty soon.
Yes.
I'll found it. I'll be the founder. Okay, well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about our referral program and enrollment and tools that we give you. If you were in our meeting earlier this week, we talked about this, and we've had over 100 of you using your referral code. In fact, I've even seen people using it in the chat today. It's awesome. since we rolled out in May, it's being utilized, and that's exactly what we wanted it for. As Peter mentioned, our strategy and our vision is gathering, right? And so as an enrollment tool, you referring others and bringing others along with you in this journey is something that we feel really strongly about supporting and facilitating. So just as a little bit of a reminder of where to find this, Tim's showing where you can find your referral code. So right there on the left, refer a friend, and you click on that on your dashboard. This is what you should see. So you'll have both your referral code and your referral link. We talked about this a little bit over the course of this summer and earlier this week, but I really think it's best if you're sharing LiftEd with someone who's just being introduced, that link is a great thing to share, because not only will it take him right to registration and learning on the platform, but your code will be auto-filled. If you have someone that maybe is already enrolled, right? I saw that in the chat. Is it too late to add a referral code? No, grab that referral code right there, and you can just, you can share it in that way. Then as you continue to refer, this is where you can keep track of it. So your referrals, you can see exactly who used your code down there, right? And then the credits you received. So the people that you're referring, they're getting a 50% off on their Explore Time enrollments. And then for every student that uses your referral code, you're getting a $25 credit per child that uses that. And you can see here who's using it. And then on the right-hand side, you can see where your credits are. You can see how you've used them and what you have accrued and what still you have left there. So we just really encourage you to continue using that throughout the year, right? That can continue to snowball and help people come along with LiftEd. And it's just a win-win for everyone. And then on our free trial that we're offering those that want to try out LiftEd, right? It's like Peter said, it's sometimes hard to explain everything that is LiftEd. And so it's a lot easier to say, hey, let's just try it out. Come with us, come try it out. Hopefully we can get that out and people can share that and start the school year with us next week. But anytime they come, they can have a month free of that. So, and then is Rosie here?
I saw her. She's here.
Is she here? Okay.
Yeah, you have to show this.
So we are, and maybe someone can show a little bit and share their screen. We asked our dear friend and LiftEd parent, Rosie, to record just a little video to help share the idea of this free month trial. And I'm going to actually put some of our social posts in the chat here so that you can go there and you can go ahead and share it. Oh, here we go. Okay, can we watch just a little bit of it?
Is this okay, Rosie? We didn't ask permission, but she did give it to us to share publicly, so I suppose it's okay.
I just found out that LiftEd is offering the first month of school for free. If you haven't heard about this already, you need to take a closer look. It is amazing. It's the reason I was able to homeschool last year, and it's the reason I'm able to keep homeschooling this year with 5 children. My kids rush through their breakfast so they can get on exactly when class starts, and they do it all by themselves. Even my little one who's in kindergarten. I love that every day they send me prompts as well, that I can send video messages to my kids from my mobile phone that drops right into their lesson while they're learning every single day. And it literally takes 2 minutes. We meet every week with other families who are doing LiftEd. I'm not alone and my kids are not alone. And maybe you wouldn't think this is important, is when children can make a genuine connection with the restored gospel in their everyday academic learning. You've had that feeling to do something different, and with LiftEd, I'm 100% confident that you can do it.
Nice
I
job,
just
Rosie.
love that. Yeah, thank you, Rosie. And I love at the end, if you had that feeling, we hear that a lot from families that are looking into LiftEd or newly enrolled. They just had a little heart prick, right? I'm sure we can all identify with that, of they're feeling called to this or they're feeling drawn to it. And so things like Rosie's video and some other things that we'll put in the chat here, we just want to make it easy to share, as easy as possible for you to share. So please continue doing that. As Jose encouraged, please join and make sure you're on our Facebook groups. We'll link those again. And then we'll stick around for some Q&A. I'll be doing all things enrollment, so look forward to that as well. Thank y'all.
Thanks so much, Kristen. Mr. Beckwith, are you here with us yet? Okay, it's all right. If he jumps on, then we'll move to him. I'll just share 1 minute of closing here, and then we'll let you go into your breakouts if you want to join an FAQ breakout, or if you want to learn more about the Math and Language Arts program, the parent-led Math and Language Arts curriculum that we're launching from Family School. That webinar starts in just a couple minutes. So hopefully the link, let's post a link again in the chat for anybody who wants to go there. And maybe I'll just end with this before we go to the FAQ breakouts. I was thinking about what you're doing and your effort to provide your children with something that most families would say isn't necessary. In fact, that's been the hard thing for us as an organization, is we didn't start with what most homeschoolers feel is the essential core of academic learning, math and language arts. We didn't start with that. We didn't start with it because we knew that our mission could be magnified most through courses like history, providential view of history, learning the sciences in context of Heavenly Father's plan of creation, great literature that is centered in principles of the gospel, rich principles of the gospel, art, music, the same, right? Geography, learning the movement of people throughout continents and lands for the express purpose of restoring the gospel. I'm getting sign in on other device. I'm going to deny that. Sorry, I just had an error pop up. I think somebody's trying to log into that other meeting and start it, and I need to get off of this. So there might be a conflict. I think we can run them together. Just in case, Carrie, are you here? Nellie, could you go into Zoom right now and create a new? That's not going to work. Actually, could you go into Zoom right now and create another meeting for this meeting, just in case we can't operate them at the same time in the same account? And we'll leave this meeting with another link to do the FAQ. That's how we'll do that. Anyway, we do know that math and language arts is important. In fact, a lot of our effort is in math and language arts now. For us, the core is curriculum that can deepen conversion to the gospel in an academic setting. That's our core, the American Heritage Worldwide core. That's why we call it the core. The academic resources for math and language arts are really important, and we're developing those, and they're improving this year significantly. And next year, hopefully, and perhaps even the next year, I'm not going to make any promises, we will have math and language arts in this LiftEd format and platform. They will connect the same way they're connecting with history. They'll connect the same way with math and language arts. They'll work with each other, support each other. Mentors will be provided. They'll be able to move at their own pace as well with those skills-based subjects. So I just wanted to leave you with that understanding that we do get that math and language arts is really important. We are putting a lot of time and resources into that. But for us, we're grateful that you also see value in providing history and geography and art and music and literature in this way. And so thank you. And we're so excited for the first day of school. I'm going to launch a poll before we get kicked out here. And I actually think this is going to work just fine. So, so if not, you've got a link that you can jump back in here. We could create a poll. Tim, you could create a poll real quick to break into these three groups if we need to end this meeting and start another one. But go ahead and just select who you are here and which breakout you'd like to join. You don't have to stay. But if you want to stay and you want to jump in and ask more questions than have been asked on the chat, while you're finishing up this poll, I will respond to one question I saw that yes, this promotion should be a promotion that works for every one of your children, not just one free child for a month. It's all your children that are enrolled for their month. So if it's not working that way, then just connect with Jose and support. I'm going to end the poll here. Well, actually, I'm going to keep it going because this actually pushes you into your breakout. But I see Mr. Beckwith. He's here. He just jumped on. He just taught us principles of leadership for his new high school class. Grant, would you like to share any closing remarks? I'm going to jump over to the Math and Language Arts webinar. So I'm going to leave you here. Tim, you have hosting controls here. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you here, and I'll end this poll. And oh, it says create breakout rooms. I'm going to lose you. So I'm actually going to stay here while Grant shares his closing remarks. Go ahead, Grant.
Well, I'm sorry to be late to the foundations training here in the
Oh,
meeting.
you're muted, I think. Why can't we hear you?
Oh, we can hear him. We can hear him.
You can hear him. Okay.
I don't normally like to join a meeting at the end not having heard what people have said, but I do just love getting on and seeing all of these participants. I so wish that we could do this in person with all of you. We think about and pray for you every day. We are trying to gather families and children in the light and the love of Father in heaven for all of his children around the world. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for taking a chance on us. I just want to say before I, let you go to your breakout rooms, I'm so grateful for Peter and the administrative team for LiftEd. Peter, this is just LiftEd. We don't have all of the AHS Worldwide families on, right? This is just LiftEd?
Right. Mostly. Some of them are participating in both programs, so they would be here.
And so we may have families here who are from across the faith spectrum and from all over the country and the world. But I just want to say how much confidence that I have personally as the head of school in Peter, in Tim, in Kristen Wilkinson and Kristen Jansen. I see Jenny on here, Deanna. I wish that you could know these people more closely as neighbors and friends and colleagues as we do. They are so devoted to you and your families and your children. It's amazing. And so thank you for being a part of this. These opportunities to just even see you without being necessarily with you in your cities and towns around the world are inspiring and invigorating for us. I will maybe just mention one thing that I share with our on-campus families when we do foundations training. And I don't know, could I share my screen, Peter?
Sure.
Can I do that?
I just made you a co-host. You can go.
Okay. I want to just show this to you. This is actually, let me try this one more time. Here we go. This is a slide deck that actually is a foundations training presentation that I do for on-campus families. Is it okay for me to refer to scripture with this group, Peter?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I know we have the interfaith spectrum now too, but I just want to share with all of you that if there's ever a chapter of scripture that is designed for teaching and learning, it's section 88. And just look at some of the verses that talk about how introducing the light of Christ and the light of Father in heaven into your home class, your home school. Here's more from section 88. And even more. Teach ye diligently, and my grace shall attend you. Why do we even teach in the first place? That we and our children may be prepared in all things when I shall send you again to magnify the calling whereunto I have called you and the mission with which I have commissioned you. That's in verse 80. The entire section of 88 is a teaching and learning manual infused with the light of Christ. And so I would encourage you, alongside your other foundations preparation for the year, to just review section 88 and remember and remind ourselves of our purpose. I was speaking to President Ashton, who is the BYU Pathway Worldwide president. And he came to me and he said, Grant, he said, Pathway Worldwide will never get into K-12 education. He said, but what we need from you is to create a ramp for all of these children around the world to be prepared for a next level pathway kind of education. And if they can't read, if they can't write, if they can't understand basic mathematics, and if they don't have a foundation of character, a foundation of understanding the Creator, then they also won't be ready for next level CES pathway, or, to those families who are not Latter-day Saint or even Christian in our LiftEd community, they wouldn't be ready for the yeshiva. They wouldn't be ready for Notre Dame. They need to be ready, and that's what LiftEd is doing, and that's what you're doing as parents. So take a look at section 88, see if it speaks to you as a teacher in the home. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Over and out from Mr. Beckwith.
Thank you, Mr. Beckwith. And we love you, Grant. Remarkable leadership that we are all blessed by, truly. Well, we will see you on Monday. Now, you don't have to be there, right? That's one of the benefits of LiftEd, but maybe you will be sitting there next to them, and we encourage you to do that day one. But we look forward to serving you and your students and another bright year